Okay, welcome back. Video number 4. And when we left off, well, let's first see what it looks like when we left off. Let's run this. Drag it down here. Okay. So when we first left off, we were working on this toolbar, and we got it so that when we click on one of them, oh no, we only did the pit apparently. We didn't do any of the other ones. So that's kind of where we're at, and it's not working exactly the way we want it to. Okay, so let's look at our goals. So we're going to solve our toolbar issue, which is when it's clicked, it's going to travel around with the mouse movement. Then when we click, it'll place it in the cave, and then finally, after we can place it in the cave, we'll put the tool hints around it. So webs for spiders around it, and sting for Wumpus, and glitter for gold, and so on and so forth. Okay, it is important, hopefully, that you have all of these images right here. Okay, because we're going to use most of them today, if not all of them. Alright, so first let's solve our very first problem, which is getting this to move around with our mouse, okay? And we're going to solve that with another simple action. So right now, let me zoom in a bit. Right now we have seen set on mouse clicked, which is fine, but of course that only is going to fire when the mouse is clicked. So we also need to have a scene. So I'm in main here, right beneath set on mouse clicked. I'm going to have a scene set on mouse moved. Okay? New event handler. And again, make sure we let this autocomplete. Otherwise, you're going to end up having to type this override and stuff up. So make sure you let it autocomplete. So now we have a set on mouse moved. And really all we want to do is this. Same thing from set on mouse click. We're just going to grab that, put it here, and update our mouse X and mouse Y positions anytime the mouse is moved. Okay? And that should apply to the scene now. Let's see. I hope that works. Drag down the run here. So I click on the cave, and now it moves around with me. Of course, it is currently behind the cave, which is the next problem we will solve, which is a pretty easy problem. Let's just go to our animation timer and see the order we're drawing this in. And where are we drawing? So the toolbar is what's in charge of drawing our currently selected tile. And as you can see, our toolbar right now is drawn before our cave. So we just need to switch these and remove that white space, and I'll rerun. And let's see what we got now. We click on that, and it's over now. Another thing I don't like is, of course, it's always going to put the image at the top left corner, okay, of the of wherever position you put it. So we're putting it on the mouse, so it's going to be the top left corner's put. So I do want to center that. So let's go to where we're drawing it right here. Alright, and to center it, we just want to push it over. Our tile's 50. So if we just push it over 25 pixels that way, which is minus 25, and 25 pixels up, which is minus 25, then that should center the position of the... Okay, there we go. That looks a lot better. Okay, so that looks good. Let's get these other working right here. And to do that, we are going to just go set on mouse clicked. And right here, we have this if that knows exactly the coordinates. And remember, we know those coordinates because they're all x 650 to 720. Okay. So we don't have to mess with the 650 to 720. That's the x direction, and the toolbar is just constant in the x direction. So really all we have to change is this y value, and it starts with 50 pixels. So the first cave was at 80, so it's 80 to 130. The next one will be the spider is 130 to 180. The Wumpus is 180 to 230, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and copy this and paste it, and I'm going to move it to an else if. And 650, 700 is the same. Let's go from 130 to 180. And let's look at 130 to 180 again. Is right here. And so that is the spider image. So cave.spider. And let's go ahead and test that to make sure I can now grab my spider. Alright. So I grab my cave. And I can't grab my spider after that. Let's make sure we can grab the spider. And it appears we can't. So what did we do wrong? 650, 700. Currently selected tile. Oh, let's look at currently selected tile. Oh, we're just drawing the cave image every time. All right, so we have to obviously fix this draw toolbar setting. Otherwise, no matter what we select, it's drawing the pit image. So let's put an if right here. We should only do that if the currently selected tile equals cave.pit. Do we want to draw the pit image? Else if currently selected tile equals cave.spider. We will copy this, paste it, and we will get the spider image. Now let's try. Please work. There we go. Grab the spider, grab the cave, grab the spider, and we can switch between the two. Okay? So we can take this to its inevitable conclusion, which means on mouse clicked, I have to handle each click, and then on the draw toolbar, I have to handle each possible currently selected tile. So I think we can just go here and real quickly change this 180, 230, and 180 to 230 is the Wumpus. So Wumpus. Let's paste again. We are now going to go from 230 to 280, and 230 to 280 is the gold image. So not glitter, gold. And we're going 280 to 330 now. 280 to 330 is the ground image. Oops, there I am. Okay, ground. Okay, so those are all my clickable things except the player. We'll get to the player later. That has to do with the fog of war kind of effect where he can't see anything except where he's been, and we're not doing that today. So that handles all those. Let's come down here and make sure we draw them all. So let's copy this else if. And if it is a Wumpus, this doesn't have to be in the same order as we did above. It may be. I'm not really paying attention. Spider, Wumpus, pit, gold. And we have get gold image. And is that it? Do we have one more? Pit, spider, Wumpus, gold. Oh, ground. That's right. And so let's paste. And this will be ground. And then get ground image. And let's try this and see if we can select all of them and have them move around with us. So there we go. Pit, spider, Wumpus, gold, ground. Looks good. Okay. So we need to know where they're clicking now. Okay, so I already know where they're clicking when they click. So when they click, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Let me run the one we're actually working on. Here we go. So when they click, I know the X and Y position of their click, but I need to know where that's at in my 2D array. Okay, so the next piece of code I'm going to write is I need to be able to convert X, Y coordinates of clicks to what position in the array they've clicked on, or if they've clicked on the array at all. Okay, so if they've clicked on, for example, location 0, 0, I need to know they clicked on location 0, 0. If they've clicked over here off of nothing, I need to know that they've clicked on a location that does not exist in the cave, so I don't place it. All right. So to do that, we are going to write a new method here that is going to convert. Let's do public. It's going to return a location, and we are going to convert click to location. So you give me an X and a Y, and I will, this method is going to take that X and Y in and convert it to an actual location in the world, 0, 0, 1, 1, a 2D array location. Okay, so let's do row first, where they click. Okay, so I know we have X is where they click. Okay, if I divide that by 50, it gives me kind of like a row and a column. But remember that we offset it by a little bit. So really, I need to do X plus some offset. Okay, so let's just try this first, and we'll see what it looks like, and I'll show you why we need that. And do we need to convert that to an int? We don't. It will be an int. Okay. Okay, and let's do column is Y. Right. So rows go left to right, which is X, and columns go up and down, which is Y coordinates. Let's create a new location out of that, and just pass in row column. And then let's go ahead and print that out, and then we'll return it. Okay, and 1 second here. I'll take a quick pause. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Yes. Okay. So when do we call this? And it's when it's clicked, right? So we need to handle in that click if they click somewhere. So right now, where am I? There I am. Okay. So let's go to clicked, and let's just for now. Let's store the location. We'll call it clickloc. Convert click to location, and I pass it mouse X, mouse Y. And then I just want to print this out for now, because it will be wrong. Why do I keep saying clockloc? Clickloc. Okay. So let's see what this does and see how close we are. Alright, so this will fire anytime I click. Let's move this off actually. And let me increase the size of this. Okay, there we go. And increase the font size and bring this back on. Okay, there we go. So anytime I click, it's going to convert it to a location. So 11.5, 11.7, 4.11. But let's see if I click on an actual location. So right here is 0, 0. I know that's the 0, 0 in the 2D array. If I click, I do get 0, 0. But if I move over just a little bit, you can see I'm still in right here, and it's giving me 1, 0, 1, 1. All right. And the reason is because of this gutter right here, this little offset I put in, because the world doesn't start at the perfect 0, 0 coordinate. Okay, it starts some pixels away from here and some pixels away from here. Okay, so instead of just converting that click, I actually need to divide the click location XY by 50 to get it into tiles, but I need to apply this offset to it as well. Okay, and if we look at that offset, it's in cave. When I'm drawing, I'm offsetting the whole thing by 20. Okay, all the way down 20 by 20, which is kind of strange because it's just sitting there. So what I'm going to do is create a couple variables. Private int x offset, and I'll make that 20. And private int y offset, and I'll make that 20. Now this doesn't change anything, but it gives me the ability later, if I wanted to move my world around a little bit, and everything would still work. Okay, so let's go ahead and change all of these x offsets to these 20s to x offsets all the way down. So 20, 20, 20, 20, and then we'll test it, and I'll show you. Now it gives us the ability to change that offset really quickly, and then this will be our y offset. And even though they're both 20, maybe we don't want them both 20 in the future. Maybe we want to increase or decrease that size of that border, that little gutter area. So we'll go through, we'll do this, and actually these should never change. So I'm going to make these public final int. Okay, public final int. Alright, so that way they're accessible anywhere. So now anyone in the world could know the size of that gutter, 20 by 20. So now let's go back to my convert click loc to index, and let's add that offset. So cave.x, maybe public final. Do I just need to save it? Cave dot, it's got to be static, my bad. Okay, public static final. I want to access it through the class, not through an object. So we got to make it static. Now it will be there. So let's add the x offset, the y offset, and let's make sure that happens, that addition happens before the division. Otherwise we're going to get some real strange results. And now let's run. And let me increase my size here. And let me pull this over. And let's see. Oh, sorry. 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. Oh, hold on a second. Someone's calling me. 1 second. Okay, sorry. So we click and we're wrong. It's 1, 1, even though it should, this location right here should clearly be 0, 0. And this location should be, what? 0, 2, and it's 1. Okay, so we need to, we need to subtract the offset. Not add the offset. Subtract the offset. Let's see now. 0, 0. 1, 0. That's the wrong way, right? This is still row 1. Okay, so we have it transposed right now. So this should return 2, 0, and it's returning 0, 2. Rows go left to right, that's right. Columns go, okay, that one's right. I think we passed the wrong one in here. No, we didn't. Get X, get Y. Okay, so row is X values. No, row is left to right. No, row's up and down. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, we need to reverse these. Columns go like this. That's X direction. Rows go like this. That's Y direction. Okay. I always mess that up. Okay, here we go. Now we should be good. Let's see. Bam. That looks good. 0, 0. Let's try this. Bam. 9, 9. 0, 9. 0, 1. 1, 1. Looks good. It's returning the right location. Okay. So, let's take a look. So we solved our toolbar issue. Now we need to place the item in the cave. Okay, we are at 20 minutes, so I think we're going to leave to place item hints in cave around item till next episode. But let's get the item placed in the cave. And to do that, I need an ability to affect the cave. If you look at the cave code, the draw code for the cave, it's going to draw everything if it's in there. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. If I put gold at a specific location, the gold image will show up at that location. Okay, I just have to get the gold image in there. And right now, main is the one that kind of knows where they're clicking. So that means cave needs a way to affect the values in each of those. So I'm going to do like, what did I call this? Set tile. Okay. You give me a location to set and a tile ID. And the cave will put that tile ID at that location. Okay. Now, one thing we need to check for is the location, is the given loc valid? Okay, we need to make sure it's valid. So let's check that first. If is valid loc, okay, so now we know it's valid. We know it's in the world, so now we can change this tile ID. So let's take our world, which is called what? It's called tiles. Okay, so let's take our tiles and loc.getRow, loc.getColumn, and set that equal to the tile ID. Not equals, equals, equal. Okay, so you give a loc and a tile ID. As long as it's valid, it will go to that location and put that tile ID in the tile. We could probably check if the tile ID is valid as well, but for now, let's just assume we're passing valid tile IDs, okay? And let's see if we can call this and change the location of this tile ID. So in main, set on mouse clicked right here. So the mouse is clicking. Let me look at my notes here so that we're set on mouse clicked. There we go. Okay. So we're clicking the mouse, and now this handles clicking the toolbar. This was kind of just a check we did. Okay. So I'm going to leave that for now, but I'm going to put an if here. So let's do if they clicked on the cave and have a tile selected from toolbar. Okay. So they clicked and they have a tile selected. Okay. So let's look. If currently selected tile not equal to -1. Okay. They have a tile selected. I should probably do a start brace here. And I'm just going to put this in the end brace. Okay. So if they have a tile selected, they just clicked. Okay. So we know they clicked. They have a tile selected. So let's go ahead and this is fine then. So we convert that click. And then let's try and affect the cave. So our cave is called cave dot set tile, the click location tile, to the currently selected tile. And then remember, once they click, empty out the selected tile. So once they click, you empty it out. And we do that by setting the currently selected tile back to -1, as in they don't have any selected tile anymore. And we are at 25 minutes, so I pray this works. So here we go. Let's run this. And let's go. So we're going to click on a pit. We're going to click on a pit. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Well, we made a mistake. As soon as they click and selected something, we tried to place it and then emptied it out. So we tried to place it immediately and then emptied it out. Okay, so that's just stupid. So let's make sure that the click loc is valid. So We got the valid, so cave dot is valid click loc. And start brace, end brace. Okay, and I'll put a comment here. Did they click on the cave? Okay, so now I only set the tile and empty it out if they clicked on the cave. Whereas before, like I said, they were clicking the pit tile. It was given the pit. Then they would have something selected. It would look at the location of the loc, attempt to place the tile, and erase it all in one click. And since when they originally clicked, they weren't on the cave, it didn't place it. So now we're making sure that they actually click on the cave before we empty out their selection. Click. Oh, good, good. I'm not clicking yet, so it's still there. And click. Beautiful. Click. Click. Nice. Click. Click. Try to place every one of those. Did I place everything? I placed everything. And I can also empty things out if I wanted to. And place multiples of things. Looks good. And I don't have to be directly on it. As long as I click anywhere in it, it'll place it on there. And if I make a mistake, I can empty things out. Okay? So that looks pretty good. Being as we're at 27 minutes, we are not going to place tile hints around here quite yet. So we did solve the toolbar issue. We did place items in the cave when clicked. We have not placed the tool hints around them. And so we're going to leave that for video 5. And hopefully everything was good. Everything works. And you're good to go for placing tile hints. And we're moving on soon. Okay? Thanks for watching. And hopefully everything's working well. See you in video 5.